We have a 2006 Ford Freestyle. We're going to go through the steps in replacing the fuel pump. We'll start by bleeding the pressure off the system using our pressure relief valve on our gauge. Be sure and capture the fuel into a safe container. Before beginning any repair, disconnect the negative battery cable. To gain access to the fuel pump, remove the bracket cover and the rear seat mount. Fold the carpet forward and remove the pump cover. Disconnect the electrical connection. Before removing the pump from the tank, it's a good idea to remove any excess dirt and debris from the top of the tank. Disconnect the fuel line and emissions line. Be sure and capture any residual fuel safely. Keep in mind you're working within a closed environment with fuel vapor. Be sure that you have adequate ventilation. Using a non-ferrous brass punch, turn the locking ring counterclockwise. Inspect the locking ring to make sure it's not damaged in any way that would hinder its free use. Partially raise the module from the tank and disconnect the emissions line and the fuel transfer line. As you remove the module from the tank, keep in mind there's a reservoir at the bottom of the module that will hold residual fuel. Be sure and capture this into a safe container. At this point, we need to drain the remaining fuel into a safe container and clean the inside of the tank. Having a clean environment for the fuel pump to operate in will extend the life of the pump. With the inside of the fuel tank thoroughly cleaned, we're ready to install the new Airtex module assembly. Place the tank seal in its location on the top of the tank. As you lower the module assembly into the tank, be sure and work the fuel transfer and emissions line over the top of the module can. Reconnect the fuel transfer line and emissions line. As you fully seat the module assembly, be sure and align the arrow on the top of the tank with the locating tab on the module assembly. With the module fully seated, install the locking ring turning it clockwise. Reconnect the emissions line, fuel line, and electrical connection, making sure to slide the safety tab into the lock position. Reposition the pump cover and carpet back into position. Install the rear seat mount and bracket cover. With the repair complete, reattach the negative battery cable. Cycle a key 2 to 3 times in order to charge the system. Start the vehicle and monitor fuel pressure, making sure it's within vehicle specification. Now before we remove our pressure gauge, we'll shut the vehicle off and bleed the pressure using our pressure gauge, making sure to capture any fuel into a safe container.